If you want to stand out in your Pinterest marketing for your MLM business, you probably want to learn the very important skill set of creating visually stunning pins for your Pinterest account. Well, my name is Karin Angeli from KarinAngeli.com. I teach and train network marketers how to build their businesses in the online space, and I also talk about some of my favorite ways to build a business. And one of those ways is with Pinterest marketing. So listen, if you want more tips, tricks, and strategies, go ahead, tap that subscribe button because I'm here every single week talking about how you can build your network marketing business with all different tools and strategies and different social media platforms. All right, so let's get into it, unicorns, okay? Let's talk about how you can start creating some irresistible pins so that you actually have click-worthy pins that people want to check out more about your product, about your service, about your business, whatever it may be. Let's talk about how you can create some amazing click-worthy pins that people want to look for more information about. All right, first thing that I want you to think about is when you're scrolling through the Pinterest feed, what specifically stands out to you when you see a pin that attracts your attention? I want you to ask yourself, when you're going through that feed, what is that one thing that when you see a pin that's just so awesome that you've got to click on it? What is it about that pin that makes you want to pin it to one of your boards? And not only do you want to think about what it is that other people are doing that are creating some click-worthy pins, I want you to think about how you can actually start doing that for yourself. And I want to go through 4 things that I think are super crucial if you want to have click-worthy pins on your Pinterest account, okay? First thing I think is super duper important if you want to have click-worthy, irresistible pins that other people are pinning, saving, wanting to learn more about. The thing that you've got to think about is what kind of images are you putting on your pins? What kind of things are you putting out there? Are the images high quality? That's super duper important. If you have images that are kind of grainy, that don't really connect with the topic that you're talking about, people are most likely going to keep scrolling by because they're going to get confused. Okay? We want to make sure that not only do we have high quality images, but we also have images that they're actually connected to what it is that we're talking about. We have images that people are saying, yes, that makes sense, that connects together with this topic. One thing that I've learned along the way with my Pinterest images is that unlike social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram love faces, okay? Pinterest is the exact opposite. Pinterest actually doesn't really like faces as much. Those kind of pins, if you have people's faces, your face on the pins, most likely they're not going to do as well, okay? So take the faces out of your Pinterest marketing, okay? What I've learned is that Pinterest is all about the objects that are in the image, okay? So say you're in an MLM where you have an amazing coffee that helps people lose weight, okay? So we want to maybe find a really cool picture of a coffee cup, and most likely it has coffee in it, right? Like we wanna have things that actually relate to what we're talking about. So when we're creating those Pinterest images, we don't want faces, we want objects, or we want text, okay? Text actually works really well also. That's what's super cool about this platform is that people actually can connect with a pin that you create if it's only text. You don't have to be a photographer. You don't have to go out there and find the best pictures. You could actually create a pretty awesome pin just by using text alone. The second thing I want you to consider when you're creating your Pinterest pins is I want you to think about what colors you're using, okay? A lot of times colors that are warm colors tend to attract people's attention more. So if you think about reds, orange, yellow, pinks, like these are colors that attract people's attention and gets them to stop the scroll and take a deeper look at that pin that's there. Okay, so think about what colors it is that you're using and how you can get your point across with your colors alone. The third thing I want you to think about is I want you to think about what kind of text you're using on your Pinterest pins. What I've learned is that the fancy, scrolly kind of text just doesn't do as well. People are less likely to click on those because sometimes the fancy scrolly text is sometimes hard to read. I know my husband, who does a lot of graphic design stuff, hates it when I use that scrolly text. I think it looks pretty, but the thing is that the normal human eye can sometimes not read what's being said with that text. You want to be super duper clear, and you want to make sure that people are able to read and understand what it is that you're saying. So make sure that your texts are nice and bold and actually are clear and concise with what you're trying to say. And the other thing I want to recommend is that you don't use too much text. Too much text can actually deter somebody away from your pin. So for instance, if you have a product or service that you want to share some information about, keep a lot of that text in the description and keep it away from your actual pin. You want one really big hook that gets your perfect prospect interested in what you have to offer. But you don't want to necessarily do it all on that one pin. You can use it in your description, but make sure that your pin has one solid hook that gets people interested in what you have to offer. So say you're marketing to network marketers. You're probably going to say something like 5 social media hacks on how you can start attracting your perfect prospect into your business. Okay? That's your hook right there. That's what gets people interested in what you have to say. The fourth thing that I want you to do, if you want to have some irresistible pins for your MLM business, the fourth thing that I want you to do is I want you to make sure that on your pin, you have a clear call to action. You want to tell people exactly what it is that you want them to do. So maybe you want them to click the pin and watch your video, or maybe you want them to click the pin to buy your product, or click the pin to read your blog. Whatever it may be super clear, be super concise on what it is that you want your perfect prospect to do. What is it that by clicking on this pin that they're actually going to get? And let me be super clear with this last one here. When you say that you're going to send somebody to a blog or a video or a place for them to buy the product, make sure that that's exactly where you're sending them. Because if you have a pin that says that they're going to go to a certain place and they don't go there, they're most likely not going to buy your products, join your team, or do whatever it is that you want them to do. So make sure what you're telling them is actually what is happening when they click that pin. I hope you loved what you learned about how to create some irresistible pins for your Pinterest marketing within your network marketing business. If you want more information on how you can start creating some amazing pins, how you can start marketing fully on Pinterest and actually have prospects coming straight to you into your network marketing business, I have an awesome training that can teach you exactly that. Inside that training, you're going to learn what you need to do in order to start optimizing your pins for the Pinterest platform. You'll have hundreds of pin templates where you can actually know what it is that people are clicking on and actually be able to make and model your own pins for yourself. You'll also learn the 5 secret ingredients to create click-worthy pins on Pinterest, and how you can actually have red hot prospects coming after you, wanting to know about your products, wanting to know about your service, and you just creating an amazing ecosystem on Pinterest. If this sounds awesome to you, I left a link for you in the description where you can actually start learning how to do all of these things and more and actually create a thriving, awesome business on Pinterest. So go ahead, check out that link in the description, and I will see you next time.